Hello and welcome to another video from me. And today we're going to be looking at Nerfertari, A Journey to Eternity, a tomb scale VR experience. Now, a lot of people on the Steam library had mentioned that the laser quality on this game was really rather special. And as I have a fondness for Egypt and the occult and all sorts of weird things, I thought, you know what, this sounds like a fantastic game. Or an experience.
We are about to enter the largest and most beautiful tomb in all of ancient Egypt. It is home to the soul and spirit of Queen Nefertari, wife of Ramses the Great from Egypt's 19th dynasty. Her tomb houses 7 chambers. Nearly every surface was decorated with vibrant colors. Even the ceiling is illuminated with stars representing the heavens. Queen Nefertari, unlike most queens, participated in civil and government matters, and her ability to read and write made her one of the most gifted queens in ancient Egyptian history. With one of the most decorative tombs, it is clear to see that she was made a living goddess during her lifetime. The walls are illustrated with scriptures from the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, ensuring the queen's safe passage to the afterlife. Although he is not pictured, Ramses the Great's love for the queen shines throughout her tomb with poetry engraved into walls of this beautiful sacred place. Upon discovery of this hidden wonder, her sarcophagus and mummy were stolen along with other artifacts in the tomb. Even though her tomb is empty, it remains as one of the essential windows into the ancient past. As you explore through the tomb, you will encounter multiple paintings which offer additional information about the tomb and its inhabitants. Press the trigger on your left controller when the glowing grid appears around a painting to learn more about the gods and goddesses who guided the queen on her journey to the afterlife.
So here we are, and I can tell you those people who viewed this and left comments on Steam were not wrong. The immersion here is fantastic, and there is a real amazing sense of actually being in this tomb. And it looks like we've got torches on each one of the controllers. This is where the power of virtual reality really does shine. This looks absolutely fantastic. There's no blurriness. The textures here are incredible. This has been laser scanned to a really high quality. And I've visited Egypt. I've actually been in the pyramids. I've been in one of the largest pyramids. And there was no hieroglyphs or anything on the walls. It looks like we can actually come up here and press the trigger. And it makes me believe that the greatest pyramid was not actually a tomb, even though Tutankhamun's body was in there. I believe, personally, that it was a gateway to another world or a technology that's been lost. And I believe it was some sort of stargate or a signal to the stars. Hence, a lot of their gods, people that they pray to, looking like gods and aliens and things like that. Yes, I believe all that kind of stuff. I certainly do. Biggest pyramid should have had the most intricate paintings and hieroglyphs, and it didn't. Very, very strange. There's lots of things about Egypt that are just cool, spooky, and mind-blowing. The technology they had to build it, the drill holes that we can't do now, the quality of the art and the workmanship. You know, laser scanned corridors and things like that. But anyway, I digress. If you love Egypt, this is going to be an absolute no-brainer here. It really is. There's a fantastic presence here. And when you go to Egypt and you go in the pyramids, you don't get the opportunity to stay in long. As I said, you're really just looking at the interiors rather than the actual artwork and everything. And this is like being in a virtual museum. We can physically get up close here. And let's just have a look at this and have a little listen.
The seated figure is Osiris, the god of the dead and king of the underworld. His green skin represents fertility and rebirth. He wears a tight white garment representing mummification. And he's holding the crook and flail, which are symbols of kingship and leadership.
David Icke would probably say that the fact he's green would be related to him being a reptilian. But hey-ho, you decide. I'm not making any comments on that. But this is fantastic. What I really do wish, though, is that these lights on my hands, I wish we could turn those off. I want to feel the spookiness of, you know, like how the people would be down here when they were painting this. you know, by candlelight or torchlight or whatever they used.
Thoth
That's
has
what
the
I want
head
to
of
see.
an ibis bird and is the god of writing and wisdom. The small frogs have many meanings in Egyptian mythology and are associated with rebirth and magic.
Yeah, if you imagine being able to hold a torch in your left or right hand, I think that would add a huge amount to immersion. Maybe that's not realistic because they would get, you know, burn marks and smoke on the ceiling. If it's these small little oil lanterns here, then that would have been great. It almost reminds me of Indiana Jones. If you can imagine it was dark in here and the wind was howling. It's very difficult for somebody watching a video to be able to get that presence that you get in virtual reality. It's very hard to describe to somebody who's never tried it. I've got friends who've never been in virtual reality and they just say it doesn't interest them. I think there are certain titles that when they put them on would blow their mind, and the only thing that's completely stopping me enveloped within this experience is that the Vive is kind of like putting on a diving mask. Once we can get that peripheral vision all the way around, I honestly think just being in this tomb here and right now would be terrifying, especially with horror games. You know, you see something moving at your peripheral vision, etc. I think that would increase it massively. But the fact that we can come in here really does shine a massive bright light for virtual reality. I hope the British Museum take up virtual reality and we can look at some of the objects and artifacts in there, or even do a tour of the museum, including the Natural History Museum. I know that probably means a little bit less tourism for them, but if it's a paid, you know, I'd pay £25, etc., for a fully scanned 3D environment of the museum, etc. But again, I'm crouched down in here. This is what I want to be able to pick up. It looks like it's got a little bit of blue flame magic coming out of it, which again spoils it a little bit for me for the immersion here. I want this to be an authentic experience as it can possibly be, but oh, it looks like I can turn the lights off on the hands. Let me just jump out here and try that. Looks like it's the menu button, so they are off. That's better. But it does look like when I turn them off, the room's actually getting brighter for me to see. I don't want that. I want it to be, you know, spooky. And the same experience that they got building it.
The god of the dead and king of the underworld. Here he is standing in a shrine with a roof. We know that it is Osiris because of the hieroglyphic inscription, but also because of his associated symbols. One of his most important symbols is his white crown with 2 feathers.
Now, what would that be for? A little indent there. Obviously for an object. But yeah, very interesting. So I'm not going to go through all of this. This is really just to give you a little bit of an overview and a flavour of this free experience. And it's an experience that you really should get and try once. If you've got any interest in Egyptology, the pyramids, you know, all this cool stuff here. The future of VR, I think, for education, this is where it'll be at. Things such as Richard Attenborough, you can imagine, doing, you know, the blue whale and all that sort of stuff, and learning about animals and creatures through virtual reality.
You can tell by her head, which is made of 2 hieroglyphics. The top symbol, which looks like a bowl, means lady, and the bottom rectangular symbol means mansion.
Lady of the mansion.
So she is the lady of the mansion.
Genius.
The next 2 figures are the sons of Horus. They are Kebisenuf, with the head of a falcon, and Happy, with the head of a baboon.
Happy.
The sons of Horus are also the protectors of the mummy's internal organs. That is why their heads are seen on canopic jars.
Well, that's going to be the end of this video. It's a very great experience. Go down, download it immediately on the Steam library while it's still free, and let me know in the comments box below what you think. I've been... and this has been me in a tomb in Egypt. Thanks for watching. See you for more videos coming real soon. Subscribe, thumbs up, and all that good stuff. Bye-bye.